Tying it up, it is 1-1 in the series. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, playing for GSU Pro, it is ZOTAC.
And his opponent, the lower right-hand corner of our map, wearing purple still. It is our other Protoss, Krolu.
There you go, nailed it. I gotta say, this is gonna be terrible for you, because these are both guys who have names that don't sound like anything the way they're spelled. Like, I would just read this as Krolu and Deca, but it's Deca and Krolu. Freaking 4 European letters. Like, look, we've got our regular good old-fashioned English O, and then they had to go European it up with this little hat.
So, but is chat saying that he's French then? Because earlier they were telling me he was Spanish, and I just went with it.
Well, I don't know if he's... I'm pretty sure he's French, since he said he was French in the lobby chat, but I could
Did he?
be...
I missed that.
Maybe he could be mistaken, I'm not sure.
He doesn't know what he is.
Or maybe he's Spanish but lives in French, I don't know. But yeah, they were talking about, like, you know, this is France versus Poland, oh, I wonder who'll win, making, you know, World War jokes, but... guess you missed that.
No, I wasn't there for it. But we have Gateway first out of both players, and after last game, why not?
Well, I mean, the thing is, again, we talking about, like, so many people earlier, before we even got into this series, like, oh boy, you know, PvP finals, that's gonna be so fun. But it really is. I mean, look at the intensity of last game. You can't even deny, regardless of how good versus bad the decision was to go for the proxy like that, it was intense to, not only, I'm sure, to play, but also for us to watch.
Very much agree, and I wonder, like, I have to assume that Krulu's ended up in that same exact scenario before, just being on the ladder like that. That's why he put the Mama Core in that particular position in the build. Well, but without that, the whole game just over.
Well,
right
really
away.
big thing is you gotta keep in mind, like, you know immediately right off the bat, that's not his first time for proxy gate. The pull of those probes. I've only seen a select few players make that intelligent choice where it's like, okay, I obviously can't take this fight at home. I'm going to take the fight to my opponent, because I know he has less probes than me, because he went for the proxy gate. I mean, because what, there was 7 probes at home? Like, to the 24 that Krolu brought across the field?
It's such a weird game, too. Like, you almost never see workers go all the way across the map to come all the way back home, and then that player still wins? What?
No, it makes total sense. Like, you have to remember,
well,
like...
Right, it's just weird.
It's weird to see, yes, but it's, again, the right choice. But we have the Twilight Council, which says to me, ZOTAC is going for something a little bit cheesy here with Dark Templar. And this might just work, because Krolu hasn't been going for a quick robo. He hasn't been going for a Stargate early on. He's not going to have detection or...
That's a good point. He very well may not. He is scouting for another proxy location. Krolu is. Has that probe out there rallied. Actually, both players doing the same.
Yeah, sneaking across the field, but... Again, I feel like it doesn't really matter what Krolu does as long as he doesn't have detection. Dark Templar are so damn good.
It's hard to kill a unit you can't see. I agree with you there.
Actually, we were talking about Shark Galaxy earlier. That was a really cool mechanic. The cloaking mechanic in that game. If you, like, mouse clicked over the cloak, you could attack the area. So, like, you would attack cloak units even though you couldn't see them. But seeing cloaked units was a lot harder than it is in StarCraft 2. So it's kind of
So it would just be like splash damage then?
No, like you would still attack it as if you could see. Like there was no aim move. You'd have to micro target it, but you could. There was no like shimmer the same way it is in here, and it was really difficult because the units were so small. So you just kind of had to like randomly click and get lucky sometimes. But it was a really interesting cloak mechanic. Because I've always thought about that. Like, okay, you know the guys in front of you. Why don't you just shoot blindly into the nothingness? You will hit the cloak target. Like, oh, I can clearly see where the Dark Templar is, but my gun's not working anymore. My stalker laser is malfunctioning. Krolu, did he scout
tries
that?
to poke in.
He did scout the Dark Shrine Horde. He knows it's up.
Ah, the really runs on home.
So the Robo, that scout was so critical for Krolu. I mean, if he did not scout it, that would have been game over for him. Because we have the pylon in the natural. But the Robo coming down immediately after seeing that, I mean, you don't want to take any chance with this. Mothership Core, I think, was killed, if not recalled. There we go, recall.
Yeah.
But the Observer will be out in time to deal with this. Dark Templar already warping in though, so I mean, chronoing out. He's going to lose some units, no question about it, before the Observer is out. And Krulu's going to be like, oh man, there's a proxy nearby, I just didn't realize it. I would love him to focus the Robo. If he focused the pylons even as well, just don't let that Observer complete. But he's going to try... Actually, I take that back. We have an Oracle on the way. Oracles, of course, have that stealth mechanic, their stealth detection mechanic, but... Oh, the Dark Templar! They can't quite kill it in time. And that's going to shut down the Dark Templar. Observer coming out for good measure as well, just in case he loses it. But where's that Oracle? Did it not complete? Did he cancel it? What just happened, Ord?
It did complete. It's just on its way. It didn't stay home. It's
It didn't
gone.
stay home to detect. He's waiting for the Observer, but the Observer is just now coming out.
Oh, nice. And he warps an Archon there at the last moment because why not?
That's going to
He's
soak
able
a
to
lot
do
of
extra
damage.
with it.
Deca,
get a lot
or
of kills.
Deca, find himself in some trouble. He's got more Stalkers warping it, but that same problem. I mean, look at this. Krolu about to hit up here with that Oracle, and there's nothing at home to defend. You can pull probes versus this. Like, the probe speed outruns the Oracle, so it's fine. You won't actually lose too many, but the Stalkers at home might just be enough. We don't have an Immortal coming.
7, 8, 9, 10.
No, 11. He's just killing so many probes. But
Still not pulled.
it might be
14.
worth it. Look at the offensive right now, Ord. These Stalkers are about to fall. Krolu doesn't have enough to warp in a whole lot of units to defend this with. And quite frankly, one more DT coming into the mineral line might just spell the end of this game. Stalkers are warping in, desperately trying to do what they can, but both players losing all of their probes. In fact, every single probe except for 2, and those 2 are the ones that are out in the field for Deca.
Yeah, both players. Oh, Krolu with just barely over 100 can lay a pylon down somewhere. Does have.
Well, the pylons, whatever, the assimilator, you gotta remember 75 is really cheap in comparison, but he's gonna lose his base, no question about it. Let's see what he has though. I mean, 1 Stalker, 1 Zealot, and an Oracle. The Oracle can detect this Dark Templar, but there should be an Observer there. It's still in the field, so he might just use the energy beam from it, because Dark Templar are, of course, light units. They take a lot of extra damage from those Oracles.
Hilariously enough, this probe is still mining gas, no problem.
Yeah, Deca needs to send like this 1 probe home to go like start mining again, but instead he's using it on the offensive. Nexus does fall, and we're finding ourselves in another Protoss scenario where it's just like, what is happening?
We have a probe versus a Nexus. Our upper left-hand corner of our screen. All the buildings here are completely forfeit. Really nothing to be done by Krolu. Doesn't necessarily.
Krulu's got it on the offensive with his own probe. As weird as that is to say. The Mothership Core, though, this Time Warp is going to be so critical on this ramp, but he's not actually using it.
Mineral Walk, what are you doing?
He's got to focus down the Oracle. Oh, that recall, what? Did he get the probe out? Or did he get the probe out? He did, he can start mining again. Deca is back in this. He's gonna, if he can just hold, if he can just get 1 single force field on this ramp, keep Krolu out, he can slowly mine his way back to victory, but he's mining gas instead. He wants to get another Dark Templar out. He's going to go for an Archon, but I don't know. It's, this Oracle is going to just shred it to bits, but the Observer's so far behind.
We'll get there eventually.
Having a hard time understanding what is happening here, Ord. I mean,
16 to 14 supply overall, mostly made up of probes for Krolu. This Observer, though,
if Deca warps in 2 Zealots even, a Zealot even, he wins. It's weird to say, but that's just how it comes down. Probes are great, but they don't do that much. The Oracle's going to shred the Zealots, is going to shred this Dark Templar, but it's going to die in the process as it is going to get focused down rather quickly here. Stalker's getting killed by the probes, though, underneath all of this. This is...
God, the Oracle is so aggressive with the probes underneath, and why not?
But the last probe is still mining gas, not minerals, so Deca can't actually make anything useful right now. And this 1 Stalker is just playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh god, 7 life. He desperately is clinging to life.
1 single Stalker here from Krolu is about to get taken out, and that's going to be it. Krolu with nothing on the field at this point. Can't be too happy, but it's a best of 5, so he is still in this for another
he's not
game.
supply blocked anymore. Hey.
Oh, that's true, but he's got 1 probe on the field. Where is that 1 probe even at? Oh, that's an Oracle. Oracle and probe. Man, this is...
He's got an Oracle, it's fine, he's got this. 23 kills on this Oracle, though. God.
If the Mothership Core just throws down the overcharge...
Yeah. And she can, too.
Krolu coming in with a big FU. Not enough minerals to build anything else. No more probes will be produced.
What's... No.
Actually, there's no anti-air left on the field, period. Mothership Core...
What?
The Oracle doesn't have the DPS to keep up with this army, though. The reality is, like, the Mothership Core, GG.